These are examples of formative assessment assignment for Teach Now, Module 5, Unit 3. I decided to use a Common Core standard for literacy for kindergarten, which states ask and answer questions about unknown words in a text. If you would like to see more about the Common Core standards, please follow this link here. Objective of the lesson is that the students will be able to identify unknown words in text and develop meaning for those words, ask questions during reading or after reading, activate background knowledge when responding to questions, and reflect and support comprehension of text. Formative assessment, in a nutshell, is an assessment of learning. It's an effective way to improve student learning, and it checks for understanding and also guides teacher decision about future instruction. It also provides feedback to students so they can improve their performance. If you would like to read more about formative assessments and ways to assess students' learning, please follow this link to Scholastic's website. I chose the following examples of formative assessment for my lesson. Assessment number 1 is a class discussion. We will create a chart with the following headings: who, what, where, when, and why. This chart will be used during read aloud, so the children will be encouraged to listen for answers and pay attention to the questions. This is a form of formative assessment that takes place during instruction time. It provides me with instant feedback on students' reading comprehension, their ability to read both text and pictures, and students will record their answers either by writing or drawing. Not all the students are able to write at this point, so to differentiate to their ability, I accept drawing as an answer. This chart will be an inspiration to our further activities that will include creating our own version of Do You Know the Muffin Man with the new vocabulary. In this situation, we will be reading Whose Hat Is This? And we will be reading books related to community helpers. Why I chose this assessment? Because it reminds the students to pay close attention to both illustration and text, and it activates and develops oral language skills, check students' reading level, and to better understand students' thinking. My second choice of a formative assessment will be vocabulary bingo. Students don't see it as an assessment, they see it as a game, which is perfect. And it's an informal vocabulary assessment that I can use to see their level of understanding. I use it after we identified and created a list of vocabulary words from a literature selection of our current unit. And the students are familiar with the definitions of these previously unknown words. The activity starts with me, a teacher, we call it Bingo Master, who calls out the vocabulary definition, and the students place a marker over the correct vocabulary word. When a student marks 3 places or 4 places, depending on my bingo sheet, that student calls out bingo. If the student marked the card correctly, that student wins a prize and becomes the bingo master, and he or she runs the game. Why do I choose this assessment? I believe it activates prior knowledge, checks for understanding and learning of new vocabulary. Also, it assesses listening skills, and it can be differentiated for ESL learners when using visual cues with the text. My third and last assessment would be anecdotal notes. As a kindergarten teacher, I or my TA, we take notes every day. They are a very valuable and objective record for me of child's action, behavior, verbalization, learning style, or process for a period of time. I use them when I communicate with parents and when I plan my further instruction. It helps me observe if the students are using the language of the story to make interpretations for this particular lesson. Are students going beyond the immediate events of the story to make deductions and draw conclusions? Are they able to draw meaning from the context? Are they building meaning based on the text or just relying on the prior knowledge? Also, were students able to use context clues to interpret the meaning of the new text vocabulary? Why, like I said before, it detects students' strategies, strengths, and weaknesses, and also informs my instruction and planning and helps me differentiate instruction in the future. So these were my examples of formative assessment for ask and answer questions about unknown words in a text standard. Thank you.